Ken Carson is another artist that suffers from the Travis Scott camera syndrome. And also looks like a Goomba. And also looks like he's 70 sometimes. Oh, and he also makes music here and there, I don't know. Okay, so I had like no ideas after that 1629 video. And I was like, what artist's music can I rank that I actually listen to and my takes aren't insanely horrible? And after 1 minute of thinking, I thought of this Goomba face in my mind and I was like, fuck it. So I'll be ranking every single album and EP that is on his Spotify. I don't really listen to much of his music lately. I don't want to phrase this wrong and I don't want to be a massive hater in this video, but his music gets boring really fast for me. This video is made by a Pierre Meatwriter, so take this ranking in whatever way you want to. With all that said, let's begin.
Barbie, I can be anything I wanna be.
So, Boy Barbie is an EP that before going into it, I expected nothing, and after I listened to it, I felt nothing. Well, kinda. I didn't expect anything crazy, but actually, you know what? It's not too bad. Out of the 5 tracks, my favorites were Gold Medal and Geeked Up. The beat on Gold Medal was really nice, and Ken was kinda flowing well in it. I don't know. He was trying to, at least. And Geeked Up is a straight bop. Like, I'm not even gonna cap, this is underrated. And that's all I wrote about this thing. Is it good? Not really. Is it bad? Not really. Is it mediocre and anything that you would expect out of 2020 Ken Carson? Yeah. Teen X relapsed highs are really high and its lows are really lows. I had a hard time deciding where this thing belongs and I think its position is pretty good. Unlike Boy Barbie, I somewhat enjoyed going through this 5-track EP. My favorites were Teen X Babe, Butterfly got a very good beat, and Teenage Rager.
Yeah, show the camera the grills, man.
Look at the bruh.
Overrated as fuck, in my opinion. I mean,
God, why? Why did X have to be so mid? Okay, listen up. This album had so much potential. All the complaints I have with this thing are the same complaints I had with Yeats Afterlife. Where do I begin? When an album contains 20 tracks, I just know that most of them will be uninspired filler. Second, most of these tracks sound the same. I'm not saying an artist should switch up his sound with every single new album he puts out, but comparing his sound from his last record, it almost feels like he downgraded his sound. Listen, I know Ken's sound is supposed to be this abstract vocals, auto-tune with effects type thing, and yeah, I get that. And on his last few projects, I was fine with it. But this project feels like he went a bit too far with it. Anyway, my favorites were MDMA, Going Skits, Fuck 12, Murder Music, and The End is one of the few tracks that shares a different sound from his other stuff. There's good structure on this track, the beat is so weird, I love it, and he just flows good on this one, man. Man, I wanted this to be great. Ken, why? I'm not going to continue to complain about this, but Ken, do better. Mistake me if I'm wrong, but I think that Teen X got Ken on the map, and for good reason. Out of the 6 tracks on this EP, I would say that half of them are above average. Okay, I should probably mention the elephant in the room. Yale is pretty good, but the beat carries Ken, I'm sorry. Like, go listen to it and tell me that Ken is not being carried. Why is good, but I don't know if it's just me, but doesn't this track sound like an early Lil Tecca song? For Her is my last favorite off of this thing. Oh, and one more thing. Pissed Off is so garbage. I don't give a fuck. Like, this thing is a
2-pack of ass.
On Extended, I'm only counting the 4 added tracks, not the dumpster fire that is X tracks. This thing is so high because every single one of these 4 tracks is actually good. And yes, Freestyle 3 is good. It's almost like putting out less stuff with more care is better than putting out 15 filler tracks with very little care. Wow. Anyway, Fashion Habits is really nice. Has a chill vibe that I love. Ken should do more of this. He flows great on the beat too. Shoot has a weird ass beat, but that is kind of why I love it. Swag Overload is just a bop. An all around great song. Same with Lookbook. So yeah, that's all about this thing. Yeah, Goomba, you have to post more like extended, okay? Okay.
I'm only stroking my dick. I know somebody, but I'm stroking my shit. I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak, man.
We all knew Project X was gonna be #1. Like, this is common sense, right? Even the cover art is the most iconic Ken Carson cover. Like, come on. I've said this before, but the reason I consider this album to be his best is because 90% of the content on this thing is of quality and not some random ass shit. My favorites of this thing are Who's Next, Rock and Roll is a classic, Party All Day, Change is very underrated, Run plus Run, Top 3 Ken, Shake is underrated too, it has a fast ass beat. Hella is a classic. Like, notice how this thing has 11 tracks and 90% of them are fire? Yeah, that's what happens when you don't put out any bullshit you record, Mr. Goomber. Anyway, that was the video. I'm gonna stop stacking with uploads. I was just trying to figure out what I was gonna post. So, thanks for watching and subscribe immediately.
I hate when people come around judging. It's a big turn off. Don't be a judger, bro.